Welcome to Chen's China Prism. Just yesterday, Handan in Hebei province confirmed that a court enforcement chief had solicited bribes from a creditor and sexually harassed it. Let's hear a recording of this official, Guo Hongbo.
I've already spoken to President Feng about it. I made it clear enough. Just give me money. I only take money. Give me some cash. I'm short on money. Give me more. I take money. If you don't send me money, I won't handle it for you. You're pretty, President Feng really likes you. You need to seize this chance. Actually, President Feng, my boss, he's about your age. Could you chat with President Feng for a bit? President Feng really likes you. Yeah, that's it. My boss really likes you.
Can you imagine that this recording, flippant and openly demanding bribes, came from the mouth of a court enforcement bureau chief? It happened on May 25, when Handan's party chief held his public petition day. Wu Lina had already won a case over 10 million yuan in construction fees, but with enforcement stalled for years, she planned to petition that day. Guo Hongbo, chief of the enforcement bureau at Handan's Kongtai court, called it directly to block the petition. He verbally promised to help, and Wu, trusting him, decided not to go. But that same night, Guo called her again, this time demanding money under the guise of helping with her case, claiming he was short on cash. When the bribe didn't come, he kept calling back with lewd harassment, repeatedly complimenting her looks. He said President Feng liked her and offered to broker things between them if she'd just seize the opportunity. On August 4th, the Handan government confirmed the voice in the recording was Guo's, and he's since been suspended. How could a veteran law enforcement official be so brazen? This is clearly more than just one official behaving badly. At its core, it's power for sale. It's corruption. Enforcement bureaus hold enormous discretionary power over case coordination, asset freezes, and more. But loose working practices, heavy off-the-record contact, and weak documentation requirements leave gaps that let officials twist public power into a personal cash machine. It's a sobering reality. Enforcement is hard, and often the hard part isn't the case itself, it's whether the person holding the power is willing to follow the law. It's what's even more outrageous. This wasn't an isolated incident. In June 2025, after Wu Lina went to the court as summoned and submitted a formal complaint, several court staff surrounded her and held her against her will for 3 days. On the third night, she was beaten and publicly humiliated. Afterward, the court even sentenced her to 15 days of judicial detention, then held her release over her head as leverage starting on day 5, forcing her to sign a written pledge never to appeal or report the case again. On July 28, 2026, the court summoned her again to take a statement, this time about banning her from speaking out online. To force her to drop the case, an entire chain, intercepting petitions, extorting bribes, silencing her by force, closed in around her, suffocatingly tight. People can't help but ask, after all this progress in building the rule of law, why does this keep happening? Why is it so hard to enforce a case she already won? Why did Guo Hongbo work to block Wu Lina from filing a legitimate petition? Why did the court involved take so many abnormal actions? Clearly, these judicial officials have long gotten away with negligence, misconduct, and doing whatever they wanted to plaintiffs. And because none of it was ever punished, an enforcement bureau chief ended up with the nerve to talk dirty to a plaintiff and shake her down for a bribe. Suspension is only a starting point, not the end. The public doesn't just want one man, Guo Hongbo, punished, they want the entire oversight system rebuilt. Tightening the cage around power, raising the cost of breaking the rules, and keeping enforcement authority operating in the sunlight is the only way to truly cut the chain of judicial corruption. Rule of law can't just exist on paper in a verdict. It has to exist in every step of enforcement. If a winning verdict still can't be enforced after 7 years, if the person seeking justice ends up the one being victimized, then where is the law's dignity? Justice shouldn't be a luxury where winning the case still means you have to beg someone for it. No one who's already won should have to grovel just to collect the fairness that was already theirs by right.